Friends, in this video, we are detailedly study about the different types of electrical braking. Such electrical brakings are called as the regenerative brake control, rheostatic brake control, and performance parameters for braking. So, let's begin. As we know that when we are using a electrical drive for a particular application, there are so many applications in the industry. So for there are different types of electrical drives are available for us. So in that particular electrical drives control, we are using some of the power converters, and such power converters are called as the chopper, because as we know that the choppers are called as the fixed DC voltage to the variable voltage DC converters. So friends, the chopper control drives are classified according to its different modes of operation. So basically, the chopper is a device which will convert, that is a fixed DC voltage supply into variable DC voltage supply. And what do you mean by the chopper? Chopper is nothing but one small semiconductor switch which will do the operation of your on and off. That will be the on condition and off condition. So according to the modes of operation, friends, the chopper are classified as the different types. So the first type of the, according to the operation of your chopper, the chopper is classified as a single quadrant. So that single quadrant operation may be your motoring operation or maybe your braking operation. Okay. So what do you mean by the motoring operation? Means that the electrical energy is converted into a mechanical energy. This is called as the motoring operation. And what do you mean by the regenerative braking? So in regenerative braking, the mechanical energy is converted into a electrical energy. So this is called as the regenerative braking. So this will be the first. The second type is called as a two-quadrant chopper. So the name itself indicates its meaning. The operation of such chopper will be operated in the two quadrant. So that type of chopper is called as two-quadrant chopper, and the operation may be your motoring and regenerative braking. So this will be the second type of your types of chopper. Then the third type of chopper in electrical drive, this is called as four-quadrant. So then the name itself indicates its meaning. Four-quadrant chopper means that the chopper control die will be operated in all four quadrants of operation. So these all four quadrants of operation, the chopper will operate. So such type of chopper is called as a four quadrant chopper, friends. Then second type, that will be the classification of your chopper, that is called as the according to the output voltage. So the classification of your chopper is called as step up chopper. So in step up chopper, the output voltage is more than the input voltage. So such type of chopper is called as boost chopper. Then second type of chopper is called as step down chopper. So in step down chopper, that with the output voltage is less than the input voltage. So that's why it is called as buck type of chopper. So this will be the another classification of your chopper drive. And then the last classification is called as buck and boost control chopper. So friends, why this is necessary? Because before we going to start the operation of your regenerative braking, first of all we should know where it is relation. Okay, basically in day-to-day life, friends, we are using the different types of braking control system. So for the sake of understanding that, we should know what are the different types of chopper. So friends, chopper will provide you motoring as well as regenerative braking operation. So we can study in detail what do you mean by the regenerative braking. So regenerative braking, first of all we can understand what do you mean by the regenerative braking. So friends, as shown in figure, this will be the Indian Rail, or this will be one of the image of railway. So in railway or in different electric cars, this will be the example of electric car. We are using such type of brake control. So that brake control is called as regenerative braking, because in day-to-day life, friends, we are using such type of regenerative braking. And as we know that today is the era of the atomization. So most of the time in the atomization field, we are preferring such type of regenerative braking. So the name itself indicates its meaning. What do you mean by the regenerative braking? Okay, so this brake control will generating action takes place. What do you mean by the generating action? We can discuss. So the main important feature, but before we going to start what's the regenerative braking control, first of all we can understand what will be the difference in between mechanical braking and electrical braking. So friends, according to the definition of your electrical drive, as we know that drives are the system employed for motion control, and if we are using electrical motors for your motion control, then it is called as a electrical drive. So friends, in electrical drive we are preferring very important thing that is called as electric braking method. Electric braking method. So in electric braking method, what do you mean by electric braking method? We are applying electrical source of energy, that is electric means we are using basically motors for your braking purpose. Okay, so what will happen if we are using the electric system for your braking system? So obviously there are different disadvantage of the mechanical braking, means there is a lot of losses are there, lot of production of heat is there, and noise is there. So to avoid that particular mechanical braking, we are preferring electrical braking. So in electrical braking there are different types of brakings are there. First braking is called as regenerative braking. Regenerative braking. Second type of braking is called as dynamic braking or rheostatic braking. So in today's video we can discuss such kind of braking techniques in detail. So what are the different advantages of electrical braking? Because due to the presence of the electrical circuit, the speed or the response of such a kind of braking is very fast, and by the use of the different power electronic devices in concern with the electrical circuit, braking has a less noise, less losses. So that's why in a day-to-day life and nowadays we are preferring, instead of mechanical braking, we are preferring the electrical braking. Okay, so friends, regenerative braking is one of the type of that particular electric braking circuit. Okay, I think everyone has got a detailed idea about what do we mean by the regenerative braking. Friends, this regenerative braking is very useful in that particular traction system, or we call it as the railway system, or as shown in figure. This regenerative braking, now I can show you this regenerative braking. So in that particular, that is one electric car is there. Sometime we called it as electric cars, or maybe your fuel car. So friends, in fuel car we have seen these are the wheels of your drive. These are the wheels of your drive. Okay, this will be your motor generator circuit. This green color symbol will show you the generator or your motor, because in regenerative braking control we are considered this motor will be works as a generator. This will be the engine. Okay, so for that particular engine we are using the fuel tank, and for your that particular motor we are controlling with the help of different controller circuit and different electronic circuit. This will be the blue colored shows. This will be the electronic circuit, and this will be the storage of your batteries. So friends, this will be the regenerative brake control. So what will happen, the energy from that particular wheel, that will be converted by this mechanism, and that will be coupled to your motor. But before we going to start that particular bit, this motor will be first of all acting as a motor, but when the regenerative braking will takes place, this motor will now operated as a generator. It will generate the electricity, and that electricity will be stored in that particular battery, or that will be feedback to your battery supply system, because for the starting of your that particular motor we are using battery. So when the regenerative braking takes place by this all vehicle, okay, so the feedback energy or the generated energy by this generator, that will be again feedback to your battery supply system. So such kind of technique is called as the regenerative brake control technique. So friends, let's we can study the detailed concept of regenerative brake control with the detailed proper circuit diagram. So the very important feature of chopper control is that will be the regenerative braking is carried out at very low speeds. Okay, so when drive is feed from a fixed voltage. So that will be the very important feature, that is regenerative braking is takes place at very low speed. So due to that, most of the time in industry or most of the time in railway, and most of the time in an electric car we are preferring such type of brake control technique, and this brake control technique is called as the regenerative brake control technique. So friends, let's we will start the detailed understanding of the regenerative braking. So as we have a basic concept of the regenerative braking, so the name itself indicates what do you mean by the braking. So as we know that the fundamental concept of motoring and braking is that in motoring operation what will happen, that will be the electrical energy will be converted into a mechanical energy. Electrical energy converted into mechanical energy. So electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. And in braking, this braking, another word for the braking is called as generating. So in generating, as we know that is the mechanical energy is converted into a electrical energy. So this is called as the braking or generating. So friends, the name itself indicates its meaning. In a regenerative braking control, the motor will be works as a generator. Okay. So in regenerative mode, the energy of the load is feedback to the supply system. As we have the very basic example, that will be the energy from your motor will be works as a generator. So that's why the energy from that particular generator, now it is feedback to your supply. So as we know that in that particular example, the energy which will be generated by this motor, so now this motor will be works as a generator, and the energy generated by this generator is again feedback to your supply system. Okay? So friends, in regenerative braking mode, so we have seen how this motor will be works as a generator. So let's understand this concept by means of a simple circuit diagram. So friends, this will be the circuit diagram of the regenerative brake control. This will be the supply. So it will be basically a diagram of regenerative braking of your separately excited DC motor. So this will be the DC supply which will be given to your motor. So this will be the DC supply, friends. This will be the DC supply which will be given to your motor. So I can show you by the drawing of this diagram only. So we can get maximum number of things in that particular. So this will be the DC supply. Okay, friends. So this regenerative braking is applicable to your motor. So friends, this will be the basically basic diagram of your motor. So as we know that this will be the armature of your motor, and for the sake of understanding, this will be the separately excited motor, friends. First of all, it is regenerative braking applied to the separately excited DC motor. So this will be the separately excitation. This will be the armature circuit. This will be the field circuit. It will be separately excited. Okay, this will be the armature of your, that will be the A1 and A2 terminal. So friends, for the sake of understanding, now we can replace this armature circuit by means of the resistance and inductance, because as we know that in a armature circuit there are basic elements are there. So these basic elements of armatures are resistance, that is called as armature resistance, armature inductance, and this external supply E, because it is separately excited. So that's why this motor will be represented by its armature circuit element, and this is called as the motor. This is called as the motor. Okay, so these and these things are remaining the same, but instead of that particular armature circuit, we are replacing this armature circuit by its equivalent element. So these elements are maybe your inductance, the elements are maybe your resistance, and obviously this type of motor will be the separately excitation or separately excited motor. So that's why we are giving the separately excitation supply, and that will be the representation of your motor circuit. It will be the representation of your motor circuit. Okay, now friends, we are getting the concept, means that the DC supply is given to your that particular motor. Okay, and that the motor is called as the separately excited. Okay, so this will be the direction of your current, IA current. Okay, so friends, as we seen that in regenerative braking control, the direction of your armature current is reverse, that is feedback to the source. Okay, So friends, we can understand the different operation for that particular purpose. First of all, we can understand what are the different parameters. So this is called as VA, and VA is the output voltage which will be available across your separately excited motor. Friends, so in that particular regenerative braking technique, we are using a chopper. So friends, this will be the symbol of your chopper. As we know that for the chopper control circuit in connection with the DC drive, we are using the self-commutated device. So this will be your one of the transistor. That will be the transistor has a different, that is emitter base collector value. So this will be the NPN type of transistor. So this will be the called as a chopper, which will be used to control the output of that particular motor circuit. So if we are controlling the output, means we are controlling the value of the current or value of the voltage, because according to the Ohm's law, current is directly proportional to voltage. So we are controlling the value of the current. So if we are controlling the value of current, we are controlling the value of voltage. So if we are controlling the value of voltage, so we can control the speed of your DC separately excited motor. So this is called as the chopper circuit. Means by the switching of that particular chopper, means by the changing of the duty ratio of that particular chopper, we can control the output voltage of this across the chopper. And friends, this will be the a simple diode. Okay, and this is called that simple diode, and this will be your capacitor. Why we are using the capacitor in that particular circuit? Because as we know that it is called as regenerative braking. So the generated energy, that is the energy is generated, and that will be the feedback to the source. So for the sake of protection, or for the sake of the storing of that particular electrical energy, we can using some of the capacitor. So this will be the C is called as a capacitor, which will be store the electricity. So friends, in this way we have understand the different elements of your circuit. Now we can understand what will happen, or what will be the working of your regenerative braking circuit. So friends, let's we can understand what will be the working. For the sake of the understanding of your working, when the chopper is in on condition, means this will be the chopper circuit. The chopper circuit will be in the on condition. So first of all, we can giving the supply to your motor. So while we are giving to the supply to the motor, so obviously motor will get the energy. So some of the energy will be stored in that particular inductor. So that the value of your stored energy will be dissipated on that particular, when the transistor is on. So the stored energy will be dissipated on this inductor value and the armature resistance. So the stored energy will be basically stored energy will be dissipated in that particular armature. Okay, that is called as the armature resistance. So friends, this is very important thing. So means what? That will be the energy which will be basically stored in the inductor circuit, that will be dissipated in the armature resistance. So that's why such kind of operation is called as the regenerative braking operation, because it will generate the electricity. Okay, so now we can understand the same operation. So this operation is called as energy storage interval. So what do you mean by the energy storage interval? So the name itself indicates its meaning. The energy will be stored. The energy will be stored. What will happen? So for the period of 0 to t on period, the chopper is on. The energy stored in the inductor is dissipated in the armature resistance. So friends, this will be the representation of your current and voltage waveform. So first of all, we can understand these are the two different waveforms. This will be the waveform of your voltage waveform, and this will be the waveform of your current. That will be the current waveform. The value of current, that is called as IA1. This will be the value of the current IA2. So what do you mean by the IA1? It will be the starting current or the initial current, and what do you mean by the IA2? This will be the final current. So this is called as IA1. Now we can extend this value of the IA1. This will be the value of IA2. This will be the value of IA2. Okay. So friends, this will be with respect to time. Okay, so this will be the voltage waveform. So first of all, we can move toward, this will be the time period which is called as t on period. This is total time period t. So friends, this will be the total time period, that is this is called as 0 to t on time period. And so in that particular period, okay, so in that particular, what will happen, now we can understand. So in that particular period, what will happen, the chopper circuit is on, means this, the chopper circuit is on condition. When the chopper circuit is on condition, then what will happen, the energy which will be stored in that particular inductor will be dissipated on its armature circuit. Armature circuit means that the energy will be dissipated on that particular armature resistance. So such energy is the interval, this is called as the energy storage interval. So what will happen in that particular energy storage interval, the period that we can see, the period from 0 to t on. Okay, so what will happen in that particular 0 to t on, the value of armature current, that is will be the ia1. I can show you the value of the armature current. Okay, now I can erase all thing and we can understand the basic concept. So the value of ia1, that is armature current, will be increasing, and it will reach to the point that is called as ia2 value. So this will be the operation when the armature current will increasing, it will be the armature current will be increasing to the ra2, means in that particular period what will happen, the energy stored in the inductor will be dissipated on the armature resistance. Okay, so this will be the period which is called as 0 to t on period. Okay, 0 to t on period, 0 to t on period. And friends, this will be the representation of that particular thing. So in that particular period, most of the energy will be wasted. Okay, so this will be the energy waste period, or that will be called as energy storage interval. Now we are moving towards the next interval for your operation of your regenerative braking control, and that will be the operation which is called as duty interval. So what will happen in a duty interval? So in duty interval, the name itself indicates the output of your regenerative braking will be takes place. As we seen that this will be the value of the armature current ia1. This is called as armature current ia2. And now we are understanding the working or the interval, that is basically that is t on to t. T on to t means this, we are considering now the period when the chopper is in off condition, because first condition is what, the value of your chopper is in on condition, and the second condition is what, when the chopper is off. When the chopper is off, friends, as we seen that the value of the armature current now it will be decreasing from ia2 to ia1. So because this will be the value of the ia2, this will be the value of ia1, so the armature current will decrease. So what will happen when the value of the armature current decrease? So the energy is feedback to the source through freewheeling diode. So which will be the energy stored in that particular circuit, that will be the feedback to the source. Means as we seen that particular diagram, the energy which will be stored here, the energy which will be stored in that particular inductance, that will be feedback to the source. Means the energy now it will be feedback to your source. Means in regenerative braking, what will basically happen, so the energy which will be stored in that particular inductor circuit, that will be feedback to your source by means of your diode, because this transistor is in off condition. So this circuit will be works as an open circuit, so the whole current will be flowing through that particular diode, because diode is a unidirectional device. So all the energy will be again feedback to your source. So this source will be your DC source. Okay, so that will be very very important concept when the chopper is in off condition. So this is called as a function of the freewheeling diode. So in that particular operation, we are getting the output voltage. The output voltage is VA across your motor circuit. We are getting the output waveform. This is called as VA. Okay, so this is called as VA. So that is the period which is called as the time period T, that is T on to T. So friends, what do you mean by the T on to T? Basically, this will be the period of T on period. This is period of T off when the chopper or the transistor circuit, because as we know that in concern with that particular chopper circuit, we are using transistor as in chopper because self commutation of device. So this total time period is T. and where t is equal to what? T is equal to T on plus T off. What do you mean by T on and what do you mean by the T off? So this period is called as T on period when your chopper circuit is on. This period is called as T off, and this total time period is called as T. So this total time period is called as T. Okay, so this will be the actual operation of your regenerative braking of chopper, and by the use of this regenerative braking operation of chopper, the DC separately excited motor will be works as a generator, and now the supply or the energy which will be fed back to its source. So friends, so this is for your one cycle T, okay, and that is T on plus T off. Same thing will happen for the next cycle. So from that particular point, then again your upper circuit is in off condition, means the value of the armature current now again it will be increasing from IA1 to IA2, and from that particular point again the value of the IA2 will be decreasing to the IA1. So the same operation in concern with the operation of your chopper circuit, means while we are using the chopper on and off, on and off, on and off, we are getting that the fixed DC supply voltage into a variable DC voltage supply. So this will be the output that is called as variable DC output supply. That will be the fixed DC supply. Fixed DC supply will be converted to the variable DC supply by means of the simple chopper circuit, which is called as regenerative braking. So friends, let's we can understand the different parameters or the different derivations in concern with the regenerative braking of your chopper. So friends, the very important concept, this is called as a duty cycle or duty ratio. What do you mean by the duty cycle or duty ratio? We call it as del. Okay, the symbol of del, because in concern with your chopper we are controlling the value of the duty ratio. Because what do you mean by the duty ratio? We can understand the duty ratio is called as the ratio of the duty interval to the total time period. So what do you mean by the duty interval in concern with that? So as we know that the value of the duty interval, okay, the value of the duty interval in concern with your regenerative braking. So we are using, friends, again I will draw a simple diagram for your sake of your understanding. So this will be the VA, this will be the IA1, this will be the IA2. I can draw here for your sake of understanding. So we can get actual concept. So I can draw here. So this will be your time omega t. This will be the value of IA1, IA2. We are getting the output voltage here. This period is T on. This period is total T time period. Okay, this will be the period of 0 when the armature current is increasing to IA2, then it will be decreasing. Okay, this will be the VA. So friends, what do you mean by the duty cycle or duty ratio? Okay, duty ratio is the duty interval. So the duty interval for that particular period, as we know that this will be the time period T. So what will be the duty period? Means we are getting the output VA in concern with that. We are getting the duty interval in between your T minus T1, because T is a total time period. T1 minus is the on period of your chopper. So that period is called as indirectly T off period. So this period is basically T on. This will be the T off. So what will be the formula for the duty cycle or duty ratio for your regenerative braking? That is basically in concern with the T off minus T, because we are getting the output voltage when the transistor or when the chopper circuit is in off condition. And what do you mean by the T off? T off is called as total time period T minus T on divided by T. So this will be the formula. Now we can write this will be the value of your formula of your duty interval. So what will be the formula of the duty interval? It is total time period T minus T on divided by total time period T. So in other language we call it as T off by T, because T off is the duty interval period of that particular chopper, that is called as regenerative braking chopper. So this will be the capital T, that is total time period, minus T on divided by T. That means T off divided by T. I think everyone has got the concept. Now friends, we can get the very basic output equation from your waveform. So friends, again we have to understand the waveform. So from waveform we are getting the value. What will be the value from getting from the waveform? So we are getting the value from waveform, that will be the operation period, that is total time period. The operation period now your duty interval is T on to T and V dt. So friends, now we can find out the value of the output voltage. So now we can take the integration, that is 1 by T. Okay, so now we can take this voltage term outside. So V by T integration of T on to T dt. So now we can substitute or insert the instant the value of the integration into that particular circuit. So we are getting the value of the integration, that is upper limit, that is T minus T on. So friends, this will be the T minus T on. We are getting very important term in concern with that. So as we know that this will be the value of V. Now we call it as V by T. Okay, V by T, that is T minus T on. So what do you mean by the T minus T on? As we know that the value of that particular V we kept as it is, and now we consider T minus T on divided by total time period T. So this term, that is T minus T on divided by T, will be treated as an value of del, because we have already derived this term by the waveform, that is del is equal to T minus T1 divided by T. So now we can substitute the value of this term as an del. So we are getting the output equation of VA is what? It is del V or V del. So we are getting the output equation which is called as del V or V del. So this will be the required solution from getting the integration of this term. So what will be the output equation in concern with the regenerative braking? So that the output equation in concern with your regenerating braking is called as the del V. Okay, and what do you mean by the value of del, or this is called as duty ratio or the duty interval? The value of del is what? T minus T on divided by T. T minus T on is equal to T off divided by T. So this will be the output equation. Okay, so let's we can understand from the, or we can derive the speed torque relationship from the basic equation. So friends, this will be the basic equation of your DC motor. So as we know that this will be the basic equation, that is V is equal to E plus IRA. So we are getting the value of E in concern with that. So friends, we can understand the basic concept in concern with that. Basically this motor will acts as an generator, because this will be the formula for your motor. But now when we are using the regenerative braking, the motor will be works as a generator. What will be the formula? That is V is equal to E minus IRA. So what will be the value of E? Now we are getting the value of E is V plus IRA in concern with generator. Okay, because now this motor, this will be the formula for your motor, this will be the formula for your motor, and this will be the formula for your generator. Okay, but now while regenerative braking takes place, the formula will be changed of that V, that is V is equal to E minus IRA. So E is equal to V plus IRA. Okay, and in that particular regenerative braking, we have seen that the value of armature current, so the value of the armature current means in that particular circuit of the armature current. So we can see from the basic diagram, so you can get the concept. So the value of that particular armature current is what? It will be reversed. The value of armature current, it will be reversed So due to the presence of that particular armature current reverse, the value of your torque is reverse. The value of your torque is reverse because now this motor will works as an generator. So the same concept we are using here. So the value of your torque is reverse because the direction of your current is reverse. So that's why the formula of your torque is equal to, that is T is equal to minus K into IA. Okay, so this will be the torque equation of your regenerative braking. So friends, from that particular fundamental equation for your generator, E is equal to V plus IRA. Okay, we are getting the value of IA. So if you want to get the value of IA, then what will happen? So if you want to get the value of IRA, that is basically E minus V. So we have the value of V in concern with that the circuit that we had already derived. So this will be the value of VA actually. We have the value of VA that we have derived. The value of VA is what? I can show you. The value of VA is del V, that is duty ratio V. Now we can substitute the value of VA into that equation. So we can getting the equation that is the VA is, now we can substitute the value of VA that is del V. So we are getting E minus del V divided by this resistance. So we can get the value of IA, it is E minus del V divided by RA. So this will be the value of your armature current. So this will be the value of your armature current in concern with your regenerative braking. Okay. So next, we can solve the torque speed relationship in concern with regenerative braking. So from basic equation, friends, we are having the basic equation that is torque is equal to minus K IA. What do you mean by T? It is called as torque. K is motor constant, I is armature current, and we are having the basic equation that is E is equal to K phi omega m, but we are using the separately excited motor, so that's why E is equal to K phi. It is K constant, so it is K into omega m. So and we have the value of armature current that we had earlier derived, that is the value of armature current is E minus duty ratio, that is del V divided by RA is the armature resistance, where I is called as the current, E is called as EMF, del V is called as the del is called as the duty ratio, V is called as del V is called as V is the voltage, RA is called as the resistance, armature value of resistance. So from that particular equation number first, second, and this basic equation that is called as the basic equation is what? Now it is E is equal to V plus IRA. This will be the equation number 1, this will be the equation number 2, this will be the equation number 3. This is equation 1, 2 and 3. So from that particular equation, friends, so from equation number 1, 2 and 3, we can get what we can get? We can get the torque speed relationship. So friends, if you want to get the torque speed relationship, this will be the value of second or the equation number second. So if you want to get the value of second, omega m is equal to E divided by K. So now we can substitute the value of that particular E into that equation. So we are getting the terms, okay, of E. Okay, so the value of E is what? V minus IRA. We can substitute here. So we can get the value that is V is replaced by del V minus IA RA divided by K. Now we can substitute the value of IA into that equation. So what should be the value of IA? It is T by K. So it will be the T by K. The value of IA is T by K. Now we can substitute the value of that IA into that particular equation. So we are getting value that is del Y by K. We are substituting the value of IA. What will be the value? That is the IA is equal to T by K. T by K. So we are substituting this value T by K into that equation. So it will be the T K K K square into RA. So we are getting the torque speed relationship, that is omega m. We can getting the value, that is omega m is equal to del V divided by K minus RA divided by K into K. We are getting this K square into T. So from that particular equation, friends, we are getting the torque speed relationship of your DC separately excited motor. So this will be the DC separately excited motor's torque speed relationship. Value of your torque and speed are directly proportional. So from that particular equation, we can draw regenerative braking's characteristics, that is torque speed characteristics. Okay, so we can see these characteristics for the regenerative braking. So friends, this will be the quadrant of your operation. Okay, so for understanding, we know that this will be the first quadrant, this will be the second quadrant of operation. So the first quadrant operation will be, here is your motoring, and second quadrant of operation, that will be the forward motoring, this will be the forward braking. So as we know that in concern with regenerative braking, the drive will be operated in a second quadrant, which is called as quadrant number 2. Okay, so this quadrant is called as the forward braking. So in braking quadrant, what will happen, the motor will be works as a generator and the energy will be supplied to your source. Okay, so again we have understanding, or we can draw the detailed characteristics in concern with your DC separately excited motor itself, because this will be in concern with your quadrant of operation. So this will be the your torque, this will be your speed. So this will be the torque speed characteristics. So this will be the quadrant number first, this will be the quadrant number second. Okay, now this is for your motoring operation, this is quadrant number first, in which torque and speeds are both positive. But in concern with regenerative braking, we are having the value of torque negative. That will be very very interesting concept, because while we are studying the regenerative braking, we have derived why the value of torque is negative, because due to the current is negative. So current and torque are proportional, so the torque is negative, so the value of your torque is negative. So this operation, which is called as quadrant number 2, so this operation is called as the regenerative braking operation. For your sake of your understanding, for the regenerative braking operation, this will be the torque speed characteristics of your DC separately excited motor. But when this DC separately excited motor will be operated in regenerative braking mode, so this will be operated in quadrant number 2. Okay, and this is quadrant is called as the regenerative braking quadrant of your chopper control DC drive. Okay, so friends, now we can move towards the next braking technique. So such braking technique is called as the rheostatic braking or dynamic braking. Again, this will be the very very popular braking in concern with your electrical traction system, because most of the time in tramways, trolleys, we are using such kind of braking system. So this will be the another type of the braking system. So before we going to start detailed understanding of the dynamic braking, first of all we can understand what will be the change in that particular dynamic braking, because the dynamic braking's another name is called as rheostatic braking. Why we called it as rheostat? Because in that particular braking we are using resistance, that is resistance. So due to that, such kind of braking is called as the rheostatic braking. Why it is called as rheostatic braking? Because in that particular braking technique, we are using one resistance, that is rheostat. So due to that, we can call it as the rheostatic braking. So friends, first of all, we can understand what will be the difference in between regenerative braking and dynamic braking, rheostatic braking. So as we know that in concern with your regenerative braking, we are using, I can draw this diagram for your understanding. So in regenerative braking, what will happen? We are using a source that will be feedback by means of your diode circuit. We are using one chopper circuit here, or we can use the chopper circuit here, and we can give the supply to your motor. So this motor will supply the current to that particular diode. So this is called as basically your regenerative braking. So what will be the difference in between regenerative braking and the rheostatic braking? Friends, in rheostatic braking or dynamic braking, we can replace this source of voltage by means of a resistance. So that will be the very basic difference in concern with rheostatic braking and the regenerative braking, because in regenerative braking what will happen, the energy stored in that particular armature circuit of your motor will be feedback to your source, that is V. But in concern with dynamic braking, we can replace this source of voltage by means of one resistance, and this resistance is called as braking resistance, RB. We called it as the braking value of resistance, which is RB. So such type of braking is called as now what? Dynamic or rheostatic braking. I think everyone has got the clear concept. What will be the difference in between regenerative braking and rheostatic braking? So simple, in rheostatic braking or the dynamic braking, we are just replacing the DC source, which will be used for your regenerative braking, that will be replaced by a simple value of the braking resistor, and we want to find out the value of the effective value of your braking resistance, because the whole energy will be stored in that particular device, or the energy consumed by the resistance that we want to find out in concern with your dynamic braking. Okay, so that will be the basic concept. So friends, let's we can understand what are the different value of the element. So as we know that this will be the value of the RB. RB is called as the braking value of your resistor. RB is called as the braking value of resistor or braking resistor. In circuit, we are using chopper as a transistor. So we are using for the chopper circuit using a transistor. This is emitter, this is its base, it is collector. So this is NPN transistor circuit. Okay. So this is TR is called as the chopper or the transistor. Chopper, or we call it as transistor. The IA is the armature current. IA is the armature current. So again, the value of the armature current is negative in concern with the dynamic braking. So as we know that the name itself indicates it is a braking. Braking means generating, means the motor will be works as an generator now. So this is called as IA is the armature current. Okay, VA is the output voltage across your motor. VA is the output voltage which will be available across your motor. VA is the output voltage available across your motor. And again, the motor will be replaced by its basic equivalent parameters. So this will be the motor, that is DC separately excited motor. So as we know that this is the separately excitation which will be given to your motor. This will be the separately excitation. This will be the terminal A1 and A2. This is called as, these are the carbon brushes. This is called as armature circuit. Now we are replacing this armature circuit by means of its equivalent elements. So these equivalent elements are the inductance LA. This will be the value of the resistance RA. This will be called as the separately excitation motor. So this will be called as the separately excited because this is E. So this circuit will be replaced by its basic elements, which is called as the motor in a dynamic braking. So this is called as a motor. Okay, so this is what are the different terms which are used in your rheostatic and dynamic braking. So what will be the difference? We are just replacing the source voltage by the braking resistor. So now we can understand what will be the operation of your chopper circuit, that is dynamic braking chopper. So we can understand for the time period, that is 0 to t on. So obviously the value of current is increased as a part of generated energy stored in inductance and resistance dissipated in the value of the armature resistance and transistor when the transistor is in on condition. Okay, so this is called as the first operation. And the second operation, when the, that is the time period from the t on to the t, so the current decreased from IA2 to IA1, the energy generated and stored in inductance are dissipated in breaking resistance RB. Okay, so obviously the value of the TR, that is transistor, will control the magnitude of energy dissipated in the RB. This is called as the effective value of resistor. So this is called as RBE. So what do you mean by the RBE? I can tell you, this is value of the effective value of your breaking resistors. Now we can understand the detailed concept. Okay, now we can understand the detailed concept or the operation. So friends, again this will be the waveform. We can understand the operation by means of the different periods that we had already discussed earlier. So this will be the value of current IA1 to the IA2 for your dynamic braking. So this will be the period of 0 to T on, 0 to T on period, 0 to T on period. So for that particular thing, what will happen? The value of armature current is increasing. Value of armature current is increasing. Okay. So what will happen when the value of the armature current is increasing? So I can show you by means of that particular. So this is when the operation is T to T on, the current is increasing, and what will happen? Energy, it is the energy generated in your so the energy which will be stored in that particular inductor circuit. So the energy will be stored in that particular circuit will be dissipated on this armature resistance, dissipated in armature resistance and this transistor. Okay, because the energy which will be stored in that particular inductor, because in the at the first condition when the period is 0 to T on, the energy which will be stored in that particular inductor will be dissipated on this armature resistance and this transistor. This will be the first operation, that is period T, that is 0 to T on, 0 to T on period. That is the first cycle of your waveform. Okay, so for this period 0 to T on, okay, the value of armature current is increasing, that we have shown. Then after that, the next period of operation, which is called as the interval period. In that interval period, what will happen? I can show you. Value of armature current, that is IA2. Now it is again decreasing to the IA1. So the armature current value is decreasing. So in that period of, that is called as the period in between, that will be the period, it is called as period T, that is T on to capital T. So in that period, what will happen? The value of the armature current is decreasing from IA2 to IA1. But in concern with that, the energy stored in that particular inductor circuit will be dissipated to what? Dissipated to your value of armature resistance, your transistor, and basically the transistor at that particular condition is in an off condition. So the whole energy, I can show you with the help of that diagram. So at the second condition, what will happen? So in second condition, friends, the value of your transistor is in off condition. So due to that, the energy which will be stored in that particular inductance will be dissipated in the value of armature resistance, and so this will be the armature current resistance, the value of energy. Now it will be dissipated in the breaking value of resistance. So previously it will be in concern with regenerative braking, that is feedback to the supply. But now the energy or the which will be stored in that particular inductance, now it will be dissipated in the value of the breaking value of your resistor, that is RB. Now we call it as RBE. What do you mean by RBE? It is the effective value of the breaking resistors, because in second operation means what? When T is T on, that is time period T on to total time period T. So this will be the operation number first, this will be the operation number second. So what will happen in that particular period? We are getting the value of RBE. RBE means what? It is the effective value of your breaking resistors. Okay. Now we can see the same concept in concern with that particular diagram. So friends, in that particular diagram, we are getting the concept. This is called as the T on period. This is called as T off period. Okay, and this is total time period is called as T. This will be the total time period T. So in concern with the dynamic braking, we are getting the output voltage across your armature circuit of your DC separately excited motor, that will be represented by the VA. That will be the VA. And as we know that the value of VA we have derived, it is the duty ratio into voltage V. Okay, so this is in concern with the waveform of your the operation by waveform of your understanding of your dynamic braking. Let's friend, we can derive the derivation of your value of the effective value of the braking resistors. For the sake of the effective of the calculation of the value of the braking resistor, first thing is very important, we can understand the concept of this braking resistor. So first condition is that the value of the armature current, this will be the ripple-less current. Okay, so the DC contents which are available, these are the pure DC content, okay, that we can consider for this case, and now we can derive the value of the effective value of the braking resistor. So friends, now I can write the detailed derivation in concern with the braking or the effective value of the braking resistance. So first thing that we want to find out if IA is a ripple less DC, okay, then we can get energy consumed by that is called as En, effective energy consumed En by Rb, that is braking resistance in duty cycle of operation of your chopper. Operation of chopper. Now we can getting that is En according to the fundamental law, that is loss energy consumed, that is called as Ia square Rb in bracket T minus T on. T minus T on. As we know that what do we mean by the T minus T on, it is called as the duty interval, okay, in that particular period. So friends, now we want to find out the value of the average power. So the value of average power consumed by Rb. So we can getting that is power, that is En by T, that will be the total time period T. So we have the value of En. So we have the value of En. Now we can substitute this value of En into that equation. What will be the equation? Ia square Rb to T minus T on, okay, divided by T. So friends, as we know that in concern with that particular T minus T1 divided by T is the value of the duty ratio, that is average power consumed by the braking resistors. So we can substitute the value, it is called as T minus T on divided by T is equal to del. So we can getting the value of P in concern with that. So what should be the value of P? It is P is equal to basically Ia square Rb to 1 minus del. 1 minus del. 1 minus del. It will be the equation number first. Equation number first. So this is the equation number first. Okay. So this is equation number first. So friends, this will be the value of the average power consumed by Rb. Now we are moving towards the next important part. Let we want to find out the value of the effective value of your resistance. That is RBE. Okay, is effective value of resistance, because we want to find out the value of the effective value of Rb. We are getting the fundamental equation, that is P is equal to IA square into RBE. This will be the called as equation number 2. This will be the called as equation number 2. This will be the called as equation number 2. This is equation number 1, equation number 2. This is equation number 1, this is equation number 2. So friends, now I can write again this equation for your sake of your understanding. So what will be the equation number first? That is P is equal to IA square RB in bracket 1 minus del. This is equation number first. Equation number second, that is P is equal to IA square RBE. So now we can equate this equation. So basically from equation 1 and 2, we will get, that is now we can equate this both power. So IA square RB 1 minus del is equal to IA square RBE. So now we can cancel this IA square. We can get the term which is called as RB into 1 minus del is equal to RBE. So we are getting very important equation, that is RBE is equal to RB into 1 minus. So this will be the required expression of your effective value of resistance. Now we can call it as where RBE is called as the effective value of your braking resistor, that is effective value of braking resistor. RB is called as the value of braking resistor, simple value of braking resistor, and del is called as the duty cycle or duty ratio. So friends, in this way we have derived the value of the RBE, and RB is equal to RB into 1 minus del. So this will be the required expression of the effective value of your braking resistor. So we can get this calculation of RBE. So what will be the concept? We are taking first of all the energy consumed by the resistors, and what will be the energy consumed by the resistors by means of the dynamic braking, because in dynamic braking we are replacing the source voltage by the braking resistor. So the basic energy will be consumed by its resistor itself. So first of all we can calculate the value of this particular energy. So from that we are getting the power consumption of the braking resistors. So after that we want to calculate the effective value of the braking power. So this is the power number first, this is the power number second. So from equation number first and second we can get the value of the effective value of the braking resistor. Okay, so this will be the required solution of your dynamic braking. And in concern with that, in the dynamic braking related problem or in a day-to-day industry, we are having the different values of the braking resistors, and from the value of the braking resistors we can get the value of the effective value of braking resistor. Okay, so this is in concern with the dynamic braking. Now we are moving towards the next bit. This is called as performance parameters of the braking. So friends, as we have seen the different types of braking in concern with your electrical drives, or this is called as electric braking. So there are different performance parameter in concern with electric braking. So the first parameter, that is called as the the effective braking of motor is possible up to extreme small speed. So this will be the one of the advantage of your regenerative braking. So the first performance parameter of your braking is what? The braking will be possible up to a very small speed. Okay, so this will be the first part. Then the second part, that will be the very important thing in concern with your chopper control braking circuit. That will be the very important part, that is called as del or duty cycle, can be varied between minimum to maximum value, or limiting minimum and maximum value of the output voltage. Means we are controlling the value of the duty cycle. So this will be the value of the del. This will be the very important and very interesting parameter of your chopper or the braking circuit. This is called as del, which is called as duty cycle or duty ratio. And by the changing of the value of the duty ratio or the duty cycle, we can control the all braking techniques of your chopper, because this will be the very important parameter in concern with your chopper. So it has maximum weightage, that is duty cycle or duty ratio. Okay, then the next parameter, that is ripples, that will be the basically available in the load currents, that will be inversely on the frequency. Means the ripples, can getting a simple expression, that is ripples are inversely proportional to the frequency. Means if the frequency is reduced, then the ripples are increased. But when the frequency will be large, when the value of the frequency will be very large, that time the ripples will be reduced. For sake of the operation of your chopper, we are using very high frequency, so that the value of the ripples will be reduced, because while we are considering the value of the dynamic braking, we want to reduce the value of the ripples in the current. So that will be very important parameter in concern with your braking technique. Then the next parameter is regenerative braking and dynamic braking is possible in concern with your chopper. So these are the various parameters in concern with your braking of your electrical drive by using a chopper circuit. So friends, now we can understand the same parameter concept in concern with the torque speed curve. So friend, this will be the torque speed curve. This will be the representation of your torque. This will be the representation of your speed. Okay, so friends, as we know that it is a technique which is called as braking. So the all operation will be done in the, this will be the first quadrant, which is called as motoring. So this will be the separately excited motoring. But now this operation will be moved towards the second quadrant. This is called as braking. We call it as forward motoring, and this is called as forward braking. And we are using a stepless variation in the resistance. Means we are changing the value in concern with your dynamic braking. Okay, so now the whole operation is shift towards motoring to braking. Okay, so in that particular we are showing one dotted line. And so what do you mean by this dotted line? So dotted line will show you the stepless variation in the value of the resistance change. Stepless variation in RB. RB, what do you mean by RB? The RB is the value of the braking resistor that we are using in a dynamic braking. Okay, so what is the condition? The value of RB1 is greater than value of RB2. The RB2 value is greater than RB3. This value is greater than 0. So this will be showing you a dotted line. Okay, that will be straight line braking characteristics. Now we can understand the characteristics for the few seconds or the few sections of your braking resistance. So this will be represented by dark line. So this will be the showing by the dark line. So by means of that particular characteristics for your braking parameters, we can conclude that the value of the braking resistor, that is the value of RB1, will be obviously more than the RB2. Okay, and the value of RB2 is greater than RB3, and at that time the value of the braking is again 0, means your torque speed characteristics again move to the towards the its 0 operation. Okay, so this is called as the performance parameters of your dynamic braking or the different types of braking of your electrical motors. So friends, next we can understand what are the different applications of your circuit. So there are different applications of the regenerative braking and the dynamic braking in a day-to-day life, friends. So the first application for the braking circuit, industrial robot circuit, we are using such kind of braking system. So this will be the one of the example of the industrial robot. Then very popular example that we are using in day-to-day life, this is called as electrical traction. So electrical traction system, we are using the dynamic braking as well as the regenerative braking technique for your controlling of your motors. That will be the motor will works as a generator in that particular case. Similarly, we are using the same concept of the braking technique in the different locomotives. In foreign countries, we are using the different tramways. Okay, so for the use of that particular tramways, we are using such kind of braking technique. So in a industry or in a specific applications like a different weather condition, we are using some of the trolley buses in an industrial environment as well as normal environment. So by the use of the trolley buses, we can also prefer the dynamic braking. So friends, in concern with the electrical braking, there are a lot of applications of regenerative braking and dynamic braking. So in concern with that, we have already studied the different types of dynamic braking, different types of regenerative braking, the different applications, its performance of the dynamic braking or the performance of your braking technique. So friends, thank you.